today on an all-new Dr. Phil. She went from good girl to this.
We did not raise a gangster.
Involved in a drive-by.
My friend got shot in the head. I took my friend's bag.
There was a gun and drugs in there?
I'm no thief.
Aren't you on probation?
Yes.
Well, that sounds criminal.
This is just who I am.
But you're not tough. Dr. Phil could beat you up if he wanted to.
I think I just got insulted. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. I've often said that everyone, you, me, everybody, has a specific way of being in the world. Think about that. Every one of you has a certain way of being in the world. Now, my guest today has her family completely confused with her wild way of being in the world. 19-year-old Kate may have grown up in middle-class suburbia, but according to her family, she is playing the role of a hardened thug from the hood, complete with baggy pants and hoodies, do-rags, and a rap sheet that includes a drive-by shooting. Now, her family says Kate has been on the run for almost 2 months, and her older sister Ashley wrote into the show saying she's worried the next time her little sister shows up, it just might well be in a casket. In fact, Kate's mother, Donna, and her husband, Bob, claim Kate's behavior is so bad that they've had to install surveillance cameras in their home to stop her from stealing. Now, another screaming match a couple of weeks ago, and they finally kicked her out to the streets. Take a look.
Caitlin has terrorized my home for the last year and a half. My daughter refuses to follow rules. Every time your lips move, they are a lie. And God's gonna strike you dead for lying.
Okay, well, where's it at? I haven't died yet.
We prefer to call her Caitlin. Her gang name is known as Kate.
Caitlin wants to portray herself as a 6'5" black guy who grew up in the hood.
Ride around with that Glock, straight hustle non-stop.
But actually, she came from a white neighborhood who has more churches than bars.
We did not raise a gangster at all. Caitlin does not have a job. She does not go to school. And for the most part, we support her. Caitlin's anger issues can go from 0 to 100 in a matter of a minute. She will yell and scream. And now she's got to the point that she tries to come to fight me. I've had to call the police.
My wife is very concerned about a predator taking Caitlin, and I had to point out to my wife that Caitlin is the predator.
Caitlin is doing drugs, smoking marijuana, and stealing my Vicodin. Caitlin has had too many run-ins with the law. Her first incident ended up being the drive-by shooting. She was walking with a friend. She sat down on the curb at a gas station. There was a car with 4 boys in it that shot at them, and the bullet went behind her in the ice machine. The kid that she was with told Caitlin, grab my bag and run it to a friend's house. And in this bag, it had marijuana and a gun. She was arrested, incarcerated in prison for 30 days. Caitlin left the house 6 weeks ago because she refuses to obey the house rules.
She nags and goes and aggravates and annoys me and does it and won't stop.
I did kick her out. I did kick her out right then and there.
We don't know where Caitlin's living. She will tell me, I'm living on the streets.
I need Caitlin to clean up her act before she can come back to my home.
If Caitlin doesn't straighten herself up, jail could be her permanent home.
Okay, do this for me. Tell me about Caitlin pre-thug. What was she like when she was, what was it?
A little girl, she
Yeah.
was the best.
How old was she when you guys got married?
Well, okay, we've been together 12 years. We got married on February of this year.
Okay, but you've been together 12 years.
Correct.
So she was then, what, 7?
Right. When I walked into Caitlin's life, I saw something a little bit different.
I saw a very immature girl. I saw a girl who wouldn't hesitate on stealing anything.
What did you see that was positive about her? Wow, see, this is so interesting to me. When I ask you guys what was good about her, neither of you can tell me anything. She's had a lot of questionable behaviors, and let me just kind of run through some of the. In fact, the list is very long, too long to go through. She was involved in drive-by shooting. She didn't shoot anybody. She was where she shouldn't have been, and damn near got shot. Then she was running away with a knapsack or a backpack that had drugs and a gun in it.
Correct.
And got arrested. Okay, she's been selling drugs, using drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Sounds like she may be the wrong crowd.
Correct.
Lies, cusses you guys out, violates probation, which she was on from tampering with evidence, right?
Correct.
And gets physical with you.
We had one counselor to tell us that throw all the knives away, take the guns out of the house. This girl's going to kill you or herself. We never could get a straight answer or a good diagnosis and treatment plan for her.
Well, Kate says she is seriously trying to change her life, but she says it's really hard because trouble just seems really easy to find. Take a look.
I want to be around gang members. I enjoy it. I just love danger. I just love trouble, and I just can't get away from it. I've seen people get robbed, get jumped. I've actually been jumped a few times. I got into a drive-by shooting. I see gunfire coming from the window. My friend got shot in the head. His blood splattered all over me. It was a really terrifying situation. I know how it is when you almost lose your life. I'm not afraid to die at all. I walk down the street with my hood up sometimes. I'll be making gang signs, start rapping. Let me tell you something about this life I live. Everywhere I go, I got told my cig, got killers all around, they will split your wig. I'm homeless. My mom has kicked me out the house. Now I live on the streets. A typical day living on the streets, smoke weed. There's always cops pulling up on us every single day. People coming up to you, saying that they want to have sex with you, like older guys. At night, it's 30 degrees, and you're freezing. All I have is a hoodie. I have no relationship with my family at all.
It's my house. If you don't want to obey by our rules, then you need to just walk.
My mom is aggravating and annoying because she likes to nag. I want to do what I want to do, and if it doesn't go my way, I get angry. I start yelling. Sometimes I start crying. I black out sometimes where I don't even know what I'm doing. I'd rather be on the street than listen to my mom's. My stepdad, he treats me like I'm a prisoner because he was a correction officer, and he treats me like I'm in jail. Nobody trusts me. Everyone wants to judge me, wants to think I'm a bad person, but I'm really not. I want to move back in with my parents, but I like my own rules.
Wow. Okay, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
If today turns out to be a no kidding long ball home run, what would that be?
Just anything, therapy, anything that will help me get away from this thug life that my mom says I'm in. Yeah. Get away from all this. She says I'm a liar. I'm not no liar. I'm not no thief. I'm not no criminal, no anything.
Aren't you on probation?
Yes, I'm on probation. I actually have a warrant out for my arrest right now.
That sounds criminal. What's the warrant for? Violation of probation?
Violation of probation. I had marijuana in my system, and I didn't show up.
Okay. And smoking dope while you're on probation, that in and of itself is a violation, right?
Yes.
And you were on probation because you'd been convicted of tampering with evidence?
Yes.
Had you?
Yeah, I took my friend's bag. Out of when I was involved with the drive-by shooting, I took his bag that had a gun and weed in it.
And took off running?
Took it off to someone else's house.
And they called that tampering with evidence?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know there was a gun and drugs in there?
I knew there was weed. I didn't know there was a gun. You
knew when you were on probation that you weren't supposed to be smoking dope?
Yes.
So you could smoke dope and go to jail for a year. That must be some pretty good weed. To say, I'm willing to do this and go to jail for a year.
I just don't think before I do my decisions.
So you don't predict the consequences of your actions.
Exactly. I just love being involved with people that are dangerous.
Do you think I'm dangerous?
No.
I could really jack with your life, you know.
There's another lie you just told.
You can't tell the truth one bit.
You are so confused. All you're doing is sitting here and lying.
I'm done.
And later,
If you don't take his help, girl, you're going to find yourself dead somewhere.
I don't want to bury my sister in a casket before I get married. You're my maid of honor. I want you to be there. I don't want to see you in jail either.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a killer at large.
this guy murdered our girls.
The chilling photos from the victim's cell phone.
This is likely the killer.
Absolutely.
What is in the pocket here?
The shocking audio recording.
Did anybody in town see this person?
Somebody knows who that person is.
Was there any indication that there was a predator among you?
That's tomorrow.
Caitlin has two different Facebook profiles, the good one and the tough girl thug life as a gangster. Caitlin's good Facebook is normal, upstanding, middle-class girl. She then opened up this other Facebook page. She was holding guns up to her head. Caitlin was wearing a bandana and a hoodie. She is flashing gang signs with her hand motion. It is very troublesome.
You say you don't lie, but according to Donna, you promised to go meet with your probation officer, didn't. Said you had no ride to go, but yet she had offered to take you. Said stolen video games were a gift. Told police that Bob had beaten you up.
That never happened.
Okay, I'm just telling you what she said. On Facebook, that you got shot when it was a friend, not you.
Never happened.
That you claimed that stolen money was just found, that you claimed that an outfit was not new when really it was. You had purchased it with stolen money. You claimed that you found 3 necklaces at the pool, but really they were stolen.
They weren't.
You forgot to tell the police about the backpack and told the producer you just didn't want to snitch. You told producers you don't wear hoodies anymore, and you showed up in a hoodie. I mean, what do you got on there? Okay. So these aren't all true?
I never stole any money, never bought stuff with money that was stolen. That was never me. I don't lie. I have not lied. My mom is always, but she even said I took her Vicodin. That never happened. Don't start saying that, because how am I going to steal your Vicodin if I'm out in the streets? Explain that. Go on, explain it.
I will explain it. One of your drug tests that failed, your probation officer called me and said that they found marijuana and a controlled substance. And
Marijuana is a controlled substance.
Excuse me. And they said, do you take any pain medicine? And I said, yes. And he said to me, that's probably what it was.
That doesn't make sense, because when I went to the doctor for my finger, they put me on Vicodin. So go on and go on.
This was before the Vicodin. And you were also going to the ER getting pain pills so you wouldn't have to have a drug test.
Never had pain pills. I only had the Vicodin for my finger. That was only a few weeks ago. So go on, keep lying about it.
Did you take your sister's makeup? No, I didn't take it.
It's makeup. She was right there. She knew I used it. I asked her, what are you talking about? Go on.
Well, I'm not going to bust you over using your sister's makeup, but if you're, none of this is true. Not one of these is true.
To me, my probation officer, that is true. I never went, and I had no ride. That's true also. She wanted me to go with one of my cousins that I do not trust going with.
No, I told you didn't have to go with him. You could go with me. So,
okay, well, I'm just wanting to know the
what
truth.
About the necklaces?
I mean, you just said she stole your Vicodin. You don't really know whether she did or not.
I don't know for sure. They just said it was a controlled substance. And we locked our bedroom door. So
Huh.
But that doesn't make sense. Why is he always in your purse taking pills like he did yesterday when we were at other
Which
stuff?
pills did I take?
I don't know. You're always in her purse.
Yeah, it's called ibuprofen.
And then you drink all the time because you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, you went to one AA meeting and all of a
I
sudden
never went to an AA meeting.
Oh, there's another lie you
that's
just
another
told
lie,
because the
because you told the
probation's officer
probation
sent it.
officer
No,
you
I
went to
didn't.
AA meetings.
That never happened because I already talked to them because they gave me the wrong time and the wrong day.
You told the truth
So
one
go on.
minute?
You
Caitlin.
can't tell the truth one bit. So go on. I'm done.
You are so confused. All you're doing is sitting here and lying.
I'm not lying.
Really? Where'd those 3 necklaces come from when we were on vacation?
Yeah, they were in the pool.
And you took those?
Yeah, I found them.
Well, they weren't yours.
Well, they were there.
I said, Caitlin, you need to take them back to the gift
No, you
shop.
didn't.
And then you said to me, I don't have to listen to you. I'm 19.
No, I didn't say that.
Have y'all met?
No.
I mean,
What's your name?
coming out, Kate's sister was so relieved when our producer called because she realized that her sister was still alive. We'll speak to her next.
Caitlin is an excuse for everything. Pity me, everything's pity me with Caitlin. Caitlin calls all the time for help, and I'm sick of it.
Caitlin dresses and acts like a boy. She's wearing boys' underwear. Very disturbing for me. She wants to wear her pants down so you see her butt. Prior to that, Caitlin had her hair down. She would wear makeup. She was my girl.
I think she's very confused about her sexuality. She wants the power of being a boy. She wants to be the one in charge. She wants to be the one in control.
She's claiming she is dating a girl right now. Honestly, I do not believe Caitlin is a lesbian.
Well, no matter who Kate is dating, her big sister Ashley says she will protect Kate until the day she dies. She says she's been worried sick about her sister for weeks since she ran away. Let's hear from Ashley.
My sister's out of control, thinking she's a thug when she never grew up that way. Now she's a little crazy. Caitlin was not always like this. After my parents got divorced, I feel like that's when things started to make a change. I am like a third parent to her. I was taking care of my sisters when I was about 10 years old till I was about 18.
Caitlin is an excuse for everything. Pity me, everything's pity me with Caitlin.
I'm afraid for her. She is 100 pounds when she's wet. What if someone shoots her?
Caitlin calls all the time for help, and I'm sick of it. I've spent nights looking for Caitlin.
When I'm looking for my sister, I think the worst. I'm expecting nothing more than to see possibly her dead body laying somewhere.
I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm falling apart because I can't do it anymore. I want to see my sister dead.
Ashley, I'm glad you're here. Why are you here?
I am here because I can't do this anymore. I've recently been engaged. I'm worrying about getting my future together and my family, and I can't look over her anymore.
What is this? You say I can't do this anymore. What is this?
I cannot constantly keep looking for her in the middle of the night, worried about if she's even alive. Like you said, I didn't even know she was alive until producers called me and said, Katie called us.
Do you want to go home?
Yeah, but they won't let me back in the house.
Okay, but you want to go home.
Yeah.
If you went home, you realize you would be a guest.
Yeah.
Do you think if you're a guest in someone's home that you follow their rules?
I follow the rules, but they make me always be home. I'm 19 years old. They'd be like, be home before the streetlights get on. Be home at 7:30. No, I don't need to be home at 7:30. I'm an adult. If I want to be out, I can be out all I want.
And the reason why my mother does that is because she's out late at night every single time. What happens? You got in a drive-by
You get in trouble.
You got arrested in another city in our area. Every time you're out late at night, trouble follows you. So you get mad at mom when she tries to do what she's supposed to do as a mother, and is to protect you.
I don't believe a 19-year-old needs to be out. You get mad at mom when I tell you that you're 19, you tell me that you should be allowed to be out all night. What the heck do you need to be out all night? When the lights go out, you get in trouble.
You've ruined your little sister's high school career as of right now, and she's only in 9th grade.
I haven't ruined it. She's still in high school.
Well, you're 19 and you're hanging around her friends. You're
15-year-old.
years old.
2 weeks doesn't count as not hanging out with them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. You got kicked out from them. We got that.
I mean, you burned your bridges with them. If you don't take his help, girl, you're going to find yourself dead somewhere.
And that's a serious situation. I don't want to bury my sister in a casket before I get married. You're my maid of honor. I want you to be there. I don't want to see you in jail either. I'm sick of your lies. I am sick of your lies.
Well, you know what I'm going to do?
Run away? Yeah, I would too.
I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to tell Kate exactly how I think she got to be where she is right now, exactly why I think she is the way she is right now, both good and bad, what I think the future holds, and what I think she has to do to get what she really wants. So that's a pretty tall order, but that's what's happening after the break. What is it you're wanting to project?
Thug life, as everyone says.
But you're not tough. Dr. Phil could beat you up if he wanted to.
I think I just got insulted.
I've had a problem with Caitlin since 4th grade. She was in public schools, fighting with the principal. She bit the principal, then got kicked out.
She was having a lot of problems at 9 years old. She was lying and stealing from her friends and from her family, disobeying her mother and father.
We raised her to be good to the world, and it turns out that she does not want to be.
I'll just tell you straight up, I don't think you're a bad person at all. And I'll tell your probation officer that. I'll tell anybody who wants to answer. I don't think you're a bad person. I'll go to bat for you 100 times in a row. If you'll go to bat for yourself, I will tell you right now. I will. But you got to understand some things so you can get out of your own way. I said before you came out here, everybody has a way of being in the world. Do you know what I mean by that?
Being successful, kind of?
Well, no, everybody's got a different way of being. Everybody chooses a strategy, a persona, a way of being in the world. And everybody has a self-image. You have a self-image, and we talk about that all the time. We use that, but we don't ever define it. A self-image is the perception or mental picture you have of your appearance, abilities, and personal worth. It's how you see yourself. Okay? Now think about what I just said. Now, honestly, when you think about your personal worth, would you think it's high or low?
Low.
Okay, so you would say that your personal worth is low. How about your abilities?
High.
You think your abilities are high, but your worth is low, so you're not using them. Okay? And you have chosen an appearance because you want to make a statement.
Yes.
What is it you're wanting to project?
Thug life, as everyone says.
That's not really who you are, though.
No.
So is this a self-fulfilling prophecy then? I mean, are you in doing this, are you just playing a role?
No.
That other people project onto you? That's what they think, so you say, oh, hell, that's what they think, that's what I'll do.
Well, that's just what they think, but this is my style. I wear whatever I want to wear. I don't care how people judge me. It's just who I am.
What is the statement you think you're making to the world?
It's just, I'm lesbian, I am who I am, and I don't care what people say.
Like, don't mess with me?
Yeah, don't mess with me. That's exactly, yeah, there you go, you got it.
But you're not tough.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're 100 pounds wet. You're not tough. Anyone, Dr. Phil could beat you up if he wanted to.
I think I just got insulted, but I'm not sure.
It wasn't an insult, I promise.
We also play games in life. We all play games. You do it, you do it, you do it, you do it, I do it, all of y'all do it. We play games, and we play self-defeating games. And the main self-defeating game you play is this one right here. Get them before they get you. You got a chip on your shoulder. And that's this thug deal's like, I'm a badass. And so you've just got that attitude. You're not, but that's the self-defeating nature of it. That's not who you are, but that's what you project. That's how you talk, it's how you stand, it's how you walk, it's how you dress, it's what you project. And it's because I'm going to get you before you get me. And do you think you do that?
Yeah. I try to show everyone, don't mess with me.
Have you ever been sick?
I had leukemia at like 5.
Hell, that's not fair. And about the time you get through that, your family falls apart and your parents get a divorce.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a killer at large.
This guy murdered our girls.
The chilling photos from the victim's cell phone.
This is likely the killer.
Absolutely.
What is in the pocket here?
The shocking audio recording.
Did anybody in town see this person?
Somebody knows who that person is.
Was there any indication that there was a predator among you?
That's tomorrow.
Have you ever been sick?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I had leukemia at like 5.
And how old were you when your family fell apart and they got a divorce?
Between 10 and 14.
Kids grow up and they look at their family as a base of operations. Now, think about it. It's a base of operations. It's like you're out in the ocean and there's a small island there. And you're standing on it, and you're warm and dry. But, you know, you'll venture into the water and you'll swim out a little ways. You look back and you can see the island. And so you swim back and get up on the island. Okay, that worked out okay. So you swim out a little further. You look back and you see the island, so you're getting a little more independent. And you go back, and then one day you swim out a little bit, and you look back and it's gone. You know, now I'm out here, and it's gone. But then it pops back up, but then it's gone again. It pops back up, it's gone again. You know what happens? You get real anxious, you get anxiety, you start getting nervous. You can't predict what's going to happen. Do I have a base of operations or do I not? And that changes who you are. And then let's say this kid's base of operations, they get a life-threatening disease. Hell, that's not fair. That's not fair. And if you give in and be scared, you know, maybe it'll get you. So you decide, well, I guess I got to be tough. I got to steel myself against this. And about the time you tough up and get through that, your family falls apart and your parents get a divorce. So now your family's fragmenting, you got a life-threatening disease, and there's something called an iatrogenic label. And an iatrogenic label, it's a big word for a label that can cause more damage than that which it seeks to describe. Now, what labels have you placed on you?
Mentally challenged.
Among a whole lot of others. And you're living to the labels, aren't you?
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to talk about the fallout of Kate's shaken confidence from her childhood and how she can move forward.
The #1 show in daytime is taping now. All we need is you.
If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping of the Dr. Phil Show, call 323-461-PHIL or visit drphil.com. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon.
My wife will take on a lot of guilt for Caitlin.
I have a lot of guilt. It hurts. I'm not sure why Caitlin's the way she is. I think it's me. Down deep inside, I feel like I have messed up on her. I don't know why Caitlin ended up this way.
Right now, at one level, you think your way of being in the world works for you because you think it protects you. But it also leaves you pretty lonely, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you can be behind this wall and you think I'm safe back here. If I come out, I might get hurt. So I stay behind the wall. Let me tell you, if you stay behind the wall, you're guaranteed to be hurt because you're going to be lonely and you're going to get depressed and it's going to be bad and you're going to self-medicate and it's going to be bad news bears. If you come out, you might get hurt, but you might also get big, big rewards because you might find out, hey, wow, I don't have to be some badass for people to let me stay around. I'm actually pretty interesting and people just like me for who I am. I think that you have some really dysfunctional patterns that you've developed, and I think you've started self-medicating with marijuana. I think it's not just recreational for fun. I think you've started self-medicating with it for anxiety.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And I think you're dealing with depression, and that's a problem. And all these other labels they put on you, I don't know. And I think you really do, I hope, have a readiness for change.
I want to change.
I think you do. And I want you to go to a place called Hannah's House. It is a dual diagnosis treatment center. It's part of Origins Behavioral Health Care. And it is a gender specific, this is all women, they have all men and all women's program. This is an all women's program that is custom, what they do is custom design programs to meet the needs of every individual. And when I say dual diagnosis, they'll deal with a dependency on drug or alcohol to the extent that it's necessary, but they also deal with everything else that's going on from a psychological standpoint to get you where you're free of all of that stuff, and use a life coach to make a plan so you come away with a life plan set up for you. And I think you deserve it, and it is a gift I am offering you if you want to do it. What do you think?
I want to do it.
Okay. All right. Up next, we'll meet a mother who wants to protect her 8-year-old son from bullying. Her story's coming up. That's it. The holidays should be a time of hope and happiness, but for families, children, and the elderly struggling with hunger, it continues to be a time of need Feeding America is the nation's leading domestic hunger relief organization, feeding 37 million Americans. Every dollar you donate helps provide 9 meals to men, women, and children facing hunger in our country. Visit drphil.com to find out how you can help this holiday season. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
Look, as a parent, you want to do everything you can to protect your children, and that is especially true if your child has an illness or a health condition. Now, my next guest, Rebecca, has an 8-year-old son who suffers from eczema. She says caring for her son's condition is one thing, but dealing with the reaction of others is something altogether different. Take a look.
My youngest son, Xander, is a very spunky, energetic boy. He suffers from a skin condition called eczema. He started to get these red patches on his cheeks. It made me feel helpless.
Go, Xander!
Xander loves swimming, but that's when kids will notice his eczema because they can see it on his legs or his stomach, and they'll say, "What's wrong?" When Xander does tell me that other kids have been mean to him, I can tell that he is sad. I worry that he may be bullied. What do you think? Is it yummy?
Yeah.
Today, he's, for the most part, a very happy, friendly kid who just loves living life. But children and adults don't understand his skin condition.
Well, Rebecca is joining me now, along with our very good friend, Dr. Freda Lewis Hall, the Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. So welcome.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you back. Yeah. Rebecca, your son was diagnosed with eczema when he was about 6 months old, right?
Yes, that's
So how is he handling the condition now?
For the most part, he handles it very well.
What about his emotional feelings about his eczema? How does he deal with that socially and emotionally?
He'll occasionally come into contact with children or parents that have negative comments. He says it doesn't bother him, but I can see the sadness in his face.
So, Dr. Freda, tell everybody, what exactly is eczema, and is it contagious?
Yeah, so it's a skin disorder, and it can be extremely uncomfortable and debilitating, but it is not life-threatening, and it is not contagious. About 30 million Americans suffer with some form of eczema. The most common type is atopic dermatitis, and it affects about 13% of children under the age of 18.
13%?
13%. Now, about half of them will outgrow the disease or will develop a milder form as they grow into adulthood. The others are going to be managing a chronic disorder that'll require careful management.
So what are the symptoms of eczema?
Eczema in children usually develops before the age of 1. I think you said Xander was about 6 months old. And the symptoms include patches of skin that are dry, scaly, red, sore, and swollen. And of course it itches and the children scratch it. That intensifies the itch. They scratch it some more and it can become infected.
You got to see your doc, right, and get the diagnosis.
Sometimes your doctor will refer you to a specialist like a dermatologist or an allergist. And then once you get the diagnosis of eczema, you can set treatment goals, put a treatment plan in place, and that may include things like prescription medications and some things that you'll do to manage it at home. Regular bathing, moisturizing every day, and also using the proper products, things that are fragrance-free or are designed for sensitive skin. And Rebecca, you mentioned triggers or flare-ups. So the other thing is to really know what causes or triggers a flare-up in your child. That way you can help avoid it, but you can also share that information with your healthcare team so that they can ensure that you're getting the appropriate treatment.
Right. And so what's the best way for a parent to manage the child's eczema? Because how do you keep a kid from scratching?
Yeah, so that is the hard part. It is very difficult to keep a child from scratching, but you continue to encourage them to do so, and keeping those nails as short as possible is also a help to, prevent infections and things.
Yeah. You mentioned concern for your son because of the way others react to his eczema, and children with this disorder cope with a lack of understanding from other kids and sometimes adults. And there is this unfounded fear that it can be contagious, and it can lead to a lot of teasing and a lot of isolation. So when kids feel like they're alone, that makes it tough. If you can get even one friend, one kid and his parents that you talk to about this, where they really understand it. So he's got a buddy that knows what's going on, is fully abreast of it, so he never feels alone. And you'll find it easier if you start with the mom.
And this is so very critical. A recent survey by the National Eczema Association actually found that at least 20% of children with eczema have been bullied because of their disease, 20%. And about 75% of parents come back like you and say, well, as a result of this, they're experiencing lower self-esteem. So this is a critical issue to manage. It's good that you've really worked as you have to stay on top of it and keep him encouraged.
So parents, you can find a wealth of information on eczema, tips on managing the condition, and links to plenty of helpful resources at gethealthystayhealthy.com. There's lots of info there, and give yourself time because this is a fun website to go to. You'll find other stuff there, right?
Absolutely. And while you're there, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter, which brings lots of important information right to you.
Yeah, Robin and I get it. So it's gethealthystayhealthy.com. You will love it, I promise. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Freda Lewis Hall. If you would like to join us here in the audience, the tickets are free. Just go to drphil.com. While you're there, you can see what's coming up on future shows. Or if you have an amazing story or need my help, you can call. Tell us about it on our website, whatever. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.